Yeah, it's another beautiful morning here in the city of Lagos, Nigeria. We promise to bring to you, as you all know, that Sports Arena on Newsbuster NGTV. It's always on Tuesday morning like this, like we unfold or what has transpired during the week and after the week. Then, as you all know, that African Cup of Nations is ongoing, rightly here in the world of football in Africa, just to preparation ahead of the 2020 African Cup 2025 African Cup of Nations. Yes, as we all know that what transpired here in Nigeria about 4 days ago when Guinea-Bissau visited our national stadium in Abuja, where Nigerian Super Eagles were trashed by 1-0, and we also go back to Guinea-Bissau to also revenge by also playing a 1-0. Not only that, I'm not the only one in the program this morning. Let me also join my colleague. As you all know, it's your regular host. My name is Isaac Abayami Anjiboye. We are here today to give you the full gist of what has transpired, even beyond Africa, going to the Europe, talk of the transfer windows, talk of the new generations in the football, talk of the coaches that have been sacked and that have been replaced by various clubs in the world of football in Europe. Now, join me as I welcome our guest, your guest, your regular guest here, because I call him a regular guest now because it's now being a part and parcel of Sports Arena on Newsbuster TV. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, my host, for welcoming to Newsbuster Nigerian TV in Sports Arena.
Yes, we are fully ready today. Like you told me on phone that you are fully prepared. What do you have for our viewers today?
Good morning, my viewers. I'm welcoming you to Newsbuster NGTV in the Sports Arena. And we all know what is happening in the world of sports. Last Saturday, the Super Eagles welcomed the Guinea-Bissau team to the National Stadium of Nigeria in Abuja, and unfortunately, Nigerian Super Eagles was defeated by a lone goal. The goal was scored very early by the Guinea-Bissau team. It was unfortunately that the Nigerian team cannot score. They find the equalizing effort, but they cannot score the goal. And yesterday, Nigerians still fly to Guinea-Bissau and to play the second leg of the two-legged African Cup of Nations that will be hosted in the Coast 2025. And it was luckily for Nigeria to have a penalty. Thank God we defeated them 1-0, and the goal was scored by our own, yours sincerely, Moses Simon, by a penalty.
Like the question I keep asking myself and individuals I met on the streets of Lagos, even beyond Lagos, why is it that Nigeria always look for one way or the other to just maneuver? Let me put it that way. In the sense that can't Nigerian coaches look for that set of Nigeria that played USC 94 and Atlanta or Olympic 1996?
Thank you. Everybody knows Nigerian system. You understand? We are not straightforward in anything we are doing. And I want to let you know it's still happening in this aspect of sport. My brother, your brother, you see that the Minister of Sport will bring his own brother. You see that the ex-international, they want to bring their brother to the team. But I want them to let them be giving the coach free hand to operate. Gone are the days that you bring your brother to the national team. It happened a lot. It happened a lot of our international, our ex-international, they will bring their junior brother to the team. The minister, they have turned the national team to the political arena. You understand? And another factor affecting the national team is the bonuses. They're giving the team a lot of bonuses. Don't be surprised, the Super Eagles are going to be paid about 6 month bonuses.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Bonuses, they are holding the Super Eagles bonuses. Another factor that is affecting them, the area of the grass. The Super Eagles home, Abuja Stadium is nothing to write home about. Some parts are green, some parts are washed away, some parts are just sand. I want to tell you, we are giant of Africa. If we want to live by what we say we are supposed to have one of the best stadiums in Africa. Let's borrow a leaf from North America. Go to Cairo, go to Egypt National Stadium, you see how their grass is green. Go to Algeria, Georgia Stadium, Oran, you see a lot of fine stadiums. Imagine Nigeria, the giant of Africa, having our national stadium look like that, the Abuja Stadium. Look at our national stadium in Surulere too. There's nothing to write home about. We need a world-class stadium for the Super Eagles. You imagine Osimhen playing in Napoli. See what he's playing there. They have a nice stadium there, but look at our own national stadium. It's nothing to write home about. It's affecting them morally, and otherwise too, they are not playing fine. They are not playing a reading Super Eagles game that we know. Most of Super Eagles games, they also play the ball for the ground. They come for the win. But right now, they are just playing kick and football because of the stadium.
Now, as you said earlier, before if I could get you right, you saying that the Nigerian Football Federation has not turned to a political arena where we have a lot of nepotism, like saying a man no man. Yes. If you don't know this person, somebody refer you to go and meet the social person, you can't have that chance to play in football and Super Eagles. Now, here we are today. How can we eliminate all these sorts of menace?
Thank you, my host. We can eliminate those kind of menace by giving the coach free hand to operate, by not selecting players for the coach. Sometimes the coach will tell you that this kind of caliber of player I want to operate, this kind of caliber of player I want to invite for the match I have in hand. You understand? But at the end of the day, the NFL will be imposing player for the coach. You understand? We are supposed to let the coach operate. I remember gone are those days that our almighty former Clement Westerhoff, he went to the Ashura to meet our president then, and he told him that I want the NFL to let me operate by myself, let me shoot players that I want. And the federal government giving go ahead that time. You can see what he performed. I think Super Eagles then of '94, we have not seen players like that. Time of Rashidi Yekini, Samson Siasa, Omokashi. You can see
Omokashi, if you need the job.
The Nigerian federal government give Clement Wester a free hand to operate, and he give them the best Super Eagles. But now the man there now, the Portuguese coach Pezero, I don't think they are giving free hand to operate. You can see a Nigerian coach coming. If you want, you can see we don't even have a world-class coach. A friend of mine was criticizing the coach that he's not a world-class coach. He's a third-grade coach. Imagine that. If you want a world-class coach, we will have money to pay. Nigeria has a lot of money. The federal government can pay for players like Jose Mourinho, players Luis Enrique. You understand? Players a good coach like that, like Jose Mourinho, we can sign them. Coach like Luis Enrique, we can sign them. Coach like Antonio Conte, you understand? Coach like Thomas Tuchel.
On this note, we seize the opportunity to implore and all the federal governments, especially the Nigerian Football Federation, to also look into these menace and bring that back and bring back the glory of Nigeria, Nigeria of the past. Talk of 1996, talk of 1994. Because looking at the Nigerian Super Eagles performance nowadays, is low beyond expectation. Like no, I could remember vividly, like you said, in the likes of Westerhoff, when he went to the Abuja to meet the president there. He's the coach of international exposure. He imbibed that culture of what he has gained so far in the world of football, in the world of athletics and all of that, combining together with a lot of exposures, bringing it back to the grassroots. I think it will also go a long way. Sure. And bringing up our field to the normal standard as expected will also go a long way, because when you mention about where the lapses also came from, is because of the field is not in a good order. Because when I noticed that the football is always
lack of proper
maintenance, and talk of the national stadium located here in Surulere in the heart of Lagos here, is not something to write about, like my colleague have said earlier. So we are seizing this opportunity to also implore the federal government to do something rapidly to enable our football, especially in Nigeria, to meet the standard of the Western world. And aside that, let's quickly move back to the Euro, because that was where the football is now, right now, as we speak. A lot of things are happening in the Euro. Talk of La Liga, talk of Bundesliga, talk of Serie A, even the English Premiership itself. And if you could believe me sincerely, we have a lot of new generations that are just coming up now with a different multi-talented skills from various clubs. If I may say, do you even have an idea of some of the young generations coming up now?
Thank you, Marcos. A lot of new generation players are coming out. Because those days, there were Bebeto, Romario, Ronaldo, Da Silva. New generation are coming up. I can't forget, we must mention Ellen Brad Allen. I give kudos to that guy. He's breaking a lot of records. Don't be forget that I started from Australian League. He started from Austria League then, from Salzburg. He was scoring a lot of goals. He was very young. I think he was like 17, 18 years then. Before he came to Bundesliga, he still scored a lot of goals there. Dortmund acquired with a lot of money, and he played like 3 seasons there. He scored a lot of goals, breaking barriers of goal. At the end of the day, Manchester City bought him a lot of money from Borussia Dortmund then. And you can see that he's painting Premiership with a lot of goals. Against Leipzig, he scored 5 goals.
That is unbelievable.
Erling Braut Haaland is scoring a lot of goals. That guy is breaking a lot of records in Premiership. Don't be forget, he's the highest goal scorer in Premiership with 24 goals now.
Being the first time he appeared in the English Premiership, and that has never occurred in the history of Premiership. You migrating from one club to another, now dominating the almighty English Premiership. Forgetting the fact that a lot of players are also on the road. And aside the fact that you mentioned in Haaland, do you also have any other player that you have in mind to tell us?
Let's talk about Jude Bellingham, the English central midfielder. I give kudos to that young man, the Englishman. I think he started his career from Birmingham City. He was like 16 when he started. At the end of the day, he has not tested Premiership before. He started from the Championship, like a Division 2 in the English Championship. At the end of the day, he went to Dortmund. I was surprised they bought him with a little money. At the end of the day, he made his name there. He was playing fine. A lot of people have been comparing with Steven Gerrard in the central midfielder. I give kudos to that young man. He's going to go a lot of places. He was in the national team too. The English national team, they call him to the. He went to the European Cup. He went to the World Cup. Don't forget, he's 19. He's still young.
Wow. He's
19 years. Jude Bellingham is making a lot of waves in the German league. He's one of the best central midfielders in German Bundesliga. And don't forget, a lot of Premiership teams, they are looking for him to buy now in the transfer market. A lot of Premiership teams. Talk of Liverpool they want to buy him. Manchester City want to buy him. Manchester United want to buy him. The almighty Real Madrid too, they want to buy him. And Borussia Dortmund put a lot of money on him. They have put 100 million euro on top of his head. That whosoever want to acquire him at the end of the season, he's going to pay a lot of money to bring the bank to buy that young Englishman. Jude Bellingham is one of the best central midfielders in the Bundesliga for talking right now.
As far as we are concerned now, Jude Bellingham of Borussia Dortmund is one of the world leading central midfielder now as we speak right now. And aside that, we also have a lot of young players doing very fantastic play in the likes of Bukayo Saka and Martinelli. What can you say about this player?
Bukayo Saka is a gifted young talent guy. Don't forget, Bukayo started from the Arsenal academic. He started for 7 years. He was in the academic for 7 years. He played a lot of Arsenal youngsters like Alex Iwobi, Nessin, a lot of young players. They started together. At the end of the day, thank God for former Arsenal coach that's in Aston Villa now. Unai Emery is the one that gave him the chance to perform. And he did not disappoint the Arsenal coach. He started young. And Bukayo Saka now, his field has gone high now. The sky is the limit of that guy because young guy is performing. Against Italy, he performed fine. In the World Cup, he performed fine. I think in the Arsenal team, he's one of the best players now. Don't forget, Arsenal has given a new contract now. He'll be earning almost 200 million, 200,000 pounds per week now. Before they are paying 30,000 pounds. They have increased his salary. They're signing 5 years contract new in Arsenal now. His salary will be around 200 to 250,000 pounds. The guy is the second highest goal scorer in the Arsenal team now, followed by I think he's having 13 goals now in the Premiership. Wow. The sky is the limit for that young guy. Kudos to that young guy.
And that also sounds a warning note to all parents, guardians, sport lovers, enthusiasts who are outside there, that regardless of ethnicity, religion, and whom you are, always let your kids, your child, to explore their potentials in anything they do, because you never can tell how tomorrow might be. Yes, having said that, you also mentioned something about Martinelli. What can you say about Martinelli?
Gabriel Martinelli, Arsenal was lucky to sell him. He's a raw gem. Arsenal bought him from Brazilian league, I think a non-league like Division 3. But at the end of the day, Arsenal polished him to call a raw gem now. Martinelli is doing very wonderful in England now. He's the highest goal scorer in the Arsenal team. You understand? He's having 15 goals now in his Arsenal team. Martinelli started very young in the Brazilian league.
Brazilian league, yes.
Arsenal bought him. He was 19 when Arsenal bought him. He's 22 years. He's 21 now. He's a head goal scorer in the national team now. He's doing wonderful from the left side of the Arsenal attack. I think Arteta is making use of him now. I can say that even though the Brazilian national team have called Martinelli to the national team now, he went to the World Cup, though he didn't start their benching, but he's still performing. They brought him for some match. I think Gabriel Martinelli is doing wonderful for himself now. He's one of the best Arsenal players now at the right moment.
And moving ahead, looking at what is playing out now in Chelsea, we also had a little transfer of young talented players now from various clubs to Chelsea. Talk of
Enzo
Fernandez and the rest. Then what can you say about these footballers that just migrated from one club to Chelsea now? Because as we speak right now, Chelsea has a lot of players.
Yeah, thank you.
But the formation, how to get it right, is the major key. Then how do we go about it?
Thank you, my host. Chelsea, they are doing wonderful. To me, they are trying to come back from their downfall. They are coming up. I think they are in 9th to 10th position now. I think they bought some young sharp. They bought Argentina World Cup midfielder. I think the guy is 21 too. Enzo Fernandez. They bought him a lot of money from Benfica. I think £100 million from Benfica. I think Enzo Fernandez is doing wonderful too. I think he's holding the Chelsea midfielder now. He's a central midfielder, like a defensive. After they sold Jorginho to Arsenal, I think Enzo Fernandez is doing wonderful in that central defensive midfielder for Chelsea. With time, they are on the Chelsea midfielder with you. Don't forget the Mercurial midfielder. N'Golo Kante is back now from injury. With the combination of N'Golo Kante and Enzo Fernandez, I think Chelsea will rise again. To me, they bought him a lot of money. Enzo Fernandez is doing wonderful. We bought him from Benfica. I think with Kante coming back from that midfield, combining with Enzo Fernandez and Messi man, Chelsea will rise back again.
And at this point, if I may ask you, since N'Golo Kante is back now on the pitch, compared to what you just rightly said, that combination of Enzo Fernandez and N'Golo Kante, can this assure us that Chelsea will make it to the top 4 for the qualification of UEFA Champions League of next season?
Let me be frank, Chelsea cannot make it to top 4. Don't forget that we have Liverpool and Tottenham and Newcastle vying for that top 4 too. And not biased, Chelsea cannot make it to top 4. They will try, but cannot make it. The only chance they have now is they can qualify for, they can win the European UEFA Champions League. Maybe they will go next year Champions League. But I don't see Chelsea going to Champions League next season. They can only go for Europa Cup. They can't make it to top 4 with this there, because in the Premiership they only have 10 matches to go. And with the caliber of match Chelsea have, they cannot make it to top 4. I'm not being biased or hating. I love Chelsea.
With the caliber of matches ahead of Chelsea, matches ahead, my guest now is saying he's not rest assured or having that full confidence in Chelsea meeting up to the top 4 for the qualification of Champions League ahead of next season, except with a clause that eventually if Chelsea finally won the UEFA Champions League, that it's on the race now. I think we are in the semi-final now, quarter-final. Okay, now moving ahead, in the likes of Ansu Fati of Barcelona, this young guy is very talented, but I keep noticing one thing. It seems the superior of those clubs always have a say ahead of young players. Why? Because I notice nowadays that Ansu Fati don't always start Barcelona's match. Why?
Thank you, Barcelona, they are a big team. I think they are one of the richest clubs in the world. Apart from the bankruptcy they have now, they are having issue with their finance. And they don't let me divert from the question. I'm coming to that question. They spend a lot of money on Lionel Messi. I think Messi issue is one of the reasons they go bankrupt. They spend, and truth is coming out, a lot of money they spend on Messi is making them to go bankrupt. And they have borrowed a lot of money. Don't forget they sell their TV right too. Let's go to the question you're asking. Ansu Fati is doing wonderfully well before he will get an ankle injury, and it was operated. Don't be surprised if a player go on an injury, long time injury like that, like 6 months, 1 year, for you to come back to your peak is very hard. As a young man, the young sharp is around 2021, and let's give him a time to recover. That's why they are using you. They are using him sparingly, and he's doing wonderful. Even though the national team they are not starting him. Thank God that he's coming back now. You cannot expect the coach Zabi Hernandez to bench this Frank what is his name, Dembele for Antifati, but they are playing the same thing because he has the almighty Lewandowski, the central striker there, and the only space left for Fantis could come from the side. That's why they always brought him in. They cannot bench Dembele for him because right now Dembele is in the form of his life. That's why they are benching him. And the young chef is doing well. Don't forget, he started from the academy. He started with a lot of what is it, Neymar and Messi. He learned a lot from them. He's a young shark. Kudos to the guy. Though he's from African country, but his father played to Spain very early. And he's a Spanish national team now. He's still young. The sky is still his limit. With time, we still collect his jersey back. That's what I can say.
And also following their counterpart in the Spanish La Liga, which is the almighty Real Madrid, in the likes of Vinicius Junior and Rodrigo. These two players, the combination of the Brazilians, and sincerely, I must confess, they are doing fantastically well because they have lifted Real Madrid to a greater height this season right now as I speak to you. But looking at the age range of those both players and the combination, they are very superb compared to the previous players we've had in the past at Real Madrid. What can you say about it?
Thank you, Maros. Vinicius Junior is a talented player. Madrid, they are lucky to have him in their team because when they first acquired that guy, it was like trying to understand Madrid team. But when Madrid sacked their former coach and brought Carlo Ancelotti saw a real gem in him and he brushed him up. And since then, Vinicius Junior have not looked back. He is the second head goal scorer in the Real Madrid team. He's doing wonderful things. Don't forget in the World Cup, he made a lot of impact in that Brazilian team. Even though the Champions League, he was the one giving Benzema the necessary support in the Real Madrid team. The guy is doing wonderful well in the Madrid team. And talking about Rodrigo too, he's a young shot. I think he's 19. And don't forget that all Brazilians are very talented. I think when they born Brazil, I think, don't let me use that word. Maybe God gave them that talent. All Brazilians are very talented.
And it's close to the world of football.
Yeah, they are very talented in terms of football.
Just that nowadays we have a lot of their contemporaries across all clubs in Europe. Talk of Darwin and Liverpool. It's also doing fantastically well. Yes. Talk of this guy in Chelsea and Brighton. Brighton.
Caro
Mitoma. Is all of them are very, very fantastic nowadays. And now, if all this set of people now dominate the pitch now, what happens to in the light of what was it called? This giant African footballer of the year sometimes ago. That's this
Drogba or what?
No, yes, Drogba has filled out already. I'm talking of Mohamed Salah. Talk of Sadio Mane, Aubameyang, and all of them. What happens to the rest?
Thank you, Maros. As just like a flower, when flower is dying, the new one will be growing. Just like fish too. When the old fish are dying, the new one will be coming out. There are new generation of players coming out. Don't forget that Messi, Neymar, their regime are going now. Messi, Neymar are the best player in the world before. Their regime are going gradually. Both Benzema, they are getting older. And when they are going, new generation will be coming out. With time now, we forget about this new generation too. New star will be coming out. You understand? Let's talk about this Caro Mitoma. Don't forget that Brighton they're buying less than £2 million. And the guy is wonderful now. I think before the former Brighton coach, Graham Potter is not making use of him. And the new coach, Dezebri, what is his name? The new coach from the Brighton bought from Shakhtar Donetsk. The guy is doing wonderful well, and he's using after Brighton sold Trossard to Arsenal. And the guy found out, let me try this Mitoma, let me see what he can do. The guy is young. Mitoma is 21. Anyway, he's from Japan. They bought him young for, I think they got him from one Japanese club, less than £2 million. And since then, he's not looking bad. The guy is doing wonderful well for Brighton. I think he's one of their best players now in Brighton. If they are putting a lot of money in there, if you want to buy Mitoma, the price on the fee of Mitoma is around £70 million now. You can see that now.
To tell you how excellent he is.
Yes.
And aside that, let's quickly move ahead to the Serie A. Let's look what's happening there. Yes, where we have our own Victor Osimhen and all that. Victor Osimhen recently break a world record in the history of Serie A, which has never happened in the past. Talk of having it within the middle of season, Victor Osimhen has scored more than 20 goals. How does this appear to you, and what can you also say regardless of this?
Thank you, Mao. Victor Osimhen is a young sharp. He's doing wonderful well in Napoli. I want to tell you, if Napoli win the Italian Serie A, kudos to Osimhen. I think the Napoli's president didn't joke with Osimhen. Don't forget that they bought him with a lot of money from Lille in French league.
Yeah.
They bought him almost 75 million pounds. It's a lot of money, and they are still investigating that fee now. Some Italian press journalists and some French journalists, they are saying the money is too much for a young sharp. It was 21 when they bought him. It was a lot of money, 75 million pounds. Then you understand. And at the end of the day, he justified his rating, he justified the amount they bought him. And Napoli is not regretting the amount they bought him now. The guy is doing wonderful well in Napoli. He's the head goal scorer in the Italian league with 25 goals. Both the Champions League and the Italian league have 25 goals now. And the guy is doing wonderful here. You understand? And the sky is his limit. That is why Napoli is telling the European big team they want to acquire him now, you need to bring back to buy this guy. They will not let him go free with his small money. If you want to buy Osimhen, you are going to bring it down 150 million pounds. Before they put 100 million pounds on him, now it's 150 million pounds in the market transfer. His rating now is what in transfer.
Okay, now looking at the lifestyle and the playing pattern of Victor Osimhen compared to all these English Premiership side club looking for him to buy, do you think Osimhen's style of play will match with the English Premier League side?
Thank you, Maoz. Let me not lie to you. Anywhere Victor Osimhen, they bought him or they signed for, he will perform there. He's an energetic young man. He's very agile. He can score with both feet. He can score with his head. Don't forget, he's an African man. He has played in French league. He has played in German league. He has been trained. He has been brought up in strong league. That is why he's performing. If Man U, as they are saying in speculation on transfer market, that Eric Ten Hag, the Man U coach, say, if you want to sign a player now, he's targeting, he's penciling down Victor Osimhen and Harry Kane. He's going to go for any of that striker, either Harry Kane of Tottenham Hotspur or Victor Osimhen of Napoli. Any of the two strikers is going to buy them next season. You understand? Victor Osimhen, whosoever buy any club to perform, is a wonderful striker. You can see what he's doing in Napoli.
Yeah.
He's doing wonderfully well. He's a high goal scorer in the Italian league in Serie A with 25 goals. The young man is doing wonderful well. And
we also have his counterpart in AC Milan. But this tall guy, I always forget his name, is very, very superb at the AC Milan midfield now. And even there are two like that, very young, talented players in AC Milan also. Because recently, when I look at AC Milan and Napoli, the two teams were so superb. Because I look at the set of players that played that match, the young ones among them are the ones who perform. And you know why nowadays the aged footballers are just a little bit restless. Let me say that they are just running on the pitch without getting the football right. Why is it like that?
These are the new generation. It's like that too. Don't forget that Ronaldo, former Ronaldo, I'm not only Ronaldo of Portugal. Ronaldo de Silva, what is that name? Former Ronaldo of Brazil. He started young from the Brazilian league. I think it was 16. Don't forget Neymar too. Neymar started very early for the Brazilian Santos. They started catch them young. Neymar was 16 when he was scoring a lot of goals in Santos too. This is their time. Let them shine. This is their time. They are the new generation. When the people like Ronaldo, Messi, Zlatan, Ibrahimovic left his feet, this is the young generation that are going to take off from them. People like Bukayo Saka, Foden, Folarin Balogun. These are the young generation of players like Kavisha from Georgia that play in Napoli, Karim Adeyemi. These are new generation of players that are springing up. Still give kudos to that young Georgia player that is supporting Victor Osimhen in Napoli. Kavisha Krivchenko. That is very difficult to pronounce. The guy is doing wonderful here.
And we're also seeing a lot of sack and replacements nowadays along the club side. You talk of Bayern Munich, Tottenham, and this other one. I think I Thomas Church now has been replaced
Yeah.
at Bayern Munich now, while Conte was sacked. What was your take on this?
Thank you, my host. Let me first bring your attention to Antonio Conte. Antonio Conte was an Italian former national team player. He was a fine midfielder in his time, and he has done wonderful. He has done wonderful for himself in the coaching, in his coaching career. I think he started with Juventus. He coached Juventus. He won the league for them in Serie A. He coached Inter. He won the league with them too. He was one that won the league in Italian league before Chelsea signing. I think Conte is a wonderful coach. But to me, a lot of people are saying that Conte is bigger than Tottenham. When Tottenham signing there, it was Arsenal that wanted to sign him before. But I think they didn't agree in their understanding before Tottenham was supposed to sign him. A lot of my friends are saying that Conte is bigger than Tottenham. I don't think so. Let's look at Tottenham.
If you could recall vividly, I think Conte was sacked based on health ground.
In Tottenham.
In Tottenham.
No, I disagree with you. There's some match they play. I think he did some operation about.
Because for a while now it has not been on pitch.
Yeah, I can't say it called twice. Let me just say, he said something that he's not supposed to say as a coach. I think Tottenham lost some match, and I think they lost some match, draw some match, and he went on air on press release, and he was bombasting Tottenham players that they are selfish, they are not professional enough, and Tottenham is not supposed to be paying them. They are not professionalism enough. And he said a lot of things even about the chairman, Levy, that this is not what they bargained for. When he came on board to Tottenham, when Tottenham signed him, they promised him a lot of money. And at the end of the day, they didn't give him, though he signed a lot of coach, I signed a lot of players too. He brought a lot of people. He brought Perisic from Inter. He brought a lot of players. He brought them from Italian league, brought them to the Tottenham team. At the end, they didn't perform. And he said he wanted a lot of money again to buy players. They didn't give him a lot, that's why. And the player not performing. At the end of the day, he said a lot of things that he's not supposed to do as a coach. I think disciplinary why he lost his dressing room. At the end of the day, Tottenham, I don't say they sack him. I think they say he left with mutual consent. To me, and his assistant, Stellini, his Italian assistant is taking over now with former Tottenham assistant, amazing. They are going to take over the team with this 10 match. At the end of the day, they will sign new coach. With speculation going on the ground, I think former Bayern Munich coach is going to take the nod of that Tottenham team. I'm talking about Julian Nagelsmann.
Okay, now looking at Thomas Tuchel replacing, taking over Bayern Munich now, what might have led to the sanction of the previous coach? Because if you could see Bayern Munich is a very fantastic club that is performing. In fact, he's the one dominating Bundesliga, if I might say.
Thank you, my host. The guy is a young coach with his experience. I think he coached Leipzig before, and he started from the Austrian League. He was a former coach of Saarbrücken in Australian League. At the end of the day, Leipzig signed him. Don't forget, the guy is young. The guy is 34. A lot of men in that team, they senior him. You understand? They senior the coach. They senior Julian Nagelsmann. At the end of the day, the guy, a lot of people say he lost the dressing room. To me, I won't say that. He didn't lose the dressing room because this guy was saying yesterday in the social media on Goretzka that they are saying that the coach lost the dressing room. No, Julian didn't lose the dressing room. And there are a lot of things that criteria that make them to sack him. Like was doing fine in the Champions League, he beat PSG home and away. He's doing fine. And if they give that guy a shot, he will still beat Man City in Bayern, in Munich. You understand? They didn't give him time. And to me, there are a lot of factors that make them sack him. Like one of my own thinking, maybe he was losing a lot of money because right now in the Bundesliga, German Bundesliga is the number one. He's leading Dortmund by two points. And Bayern is a big team. For a long time,
Do you believe that Thomas Tuchel, looking at the caliber of players on ground, the likes of David Muller, Sadio Sani, and the rest, haven't played with different clubs with the lifestyle and the playing tactics of Thomas Tuchel? Do you believe Bayern Munich will still cope having another coach at this present time?
Thank you, my host. Thomas Tuchel is one of the biggest coach in the world. Though Chelsea did mistake by sacking him, I think he had the issue with the owner of Chelsea there to boil it. To me, for Bayern to sign Oliver Kahn, CEO of Bayern, you know what he's doing. They will not regret by signing Tuchel. Tuchel is one of the best coaches in the world. Only Chelsea will regret by losing on by sacking him. You see, he's a wonderful coach. He's a world-class coach. Those Sedomani, Segi, Gabi, a lot of Antimola. I think the German national team player, they know him right from time. He has coached a lot of teams in that Dortmund, in that Bayern team that he coached in Dortmund. It's not new to the German football. He will do wonderful.
And I would say that day in, day out, we are almost approaching the transfer windows now. I want to just quickly run through the speculations around the transfer windows before now, because I think time is no longer on our side again. Just quickly download and let us know a lot of speculation around the transfer window.
Thank you, my host. A lot of speculation are happening, though transfer window open July, August, by the grace of God. But now speculation are going around, a lot of players are moving, both coach too. Right now, Ika Gandogan of Man City is being eyeing by Barcelona. He will be going on free transfer. Though Man City are trying to tie him down for a new contract. You understand? He's one of the world-class midfielder in their team. He's one of their best players. And Barcelona is hiring him too, to sign for them, because Man City is giving him a new contract to sign. He's not signing. And another thing that is going, Messi Mount will be leaving Chelsea, because Chelsea management are giving new contracts, not signing. And I think today news, sport news, we can see that Chelsea are offering a lot of money too. Chelsea and money, they want to sign him too. And another transfer market, don't forget our own Nigerian born that was born in England too. Folarin Balogun was being eyed by AC Milan, Inter Milan too. And the guy is doing wonderful. He's on loan from Arsenal with Reims of French league. I think he's the third highest goal scorer in the French league. He's a young sharp, 21 years now. Folarin Balogun. He was in Arsenal academy before Mikel Arteta gave him a chance in the Arsenal team. And he performed wonderful before they loaned him to Reims of in the French league. And he's doing wonderful too. Another player that I can talk about is Declan Rice. Declan Rice is a Western captain. He's an England international. He's 23 years. He's doing wonderful in that England national team. And he's still doing wonderful in the Western team too. And Arsenal is eyeing. I think some England player, Sakatu is talking to him, and Jack Wilshere, the England Arsenal under 21 coach, to come to Arsenal and let him come and hold down midfield on Thomas Partey. And Declan Rice too want to leave West Ham because they are not winning any trophy. They are not in Champions League. They have not been to Champions League before. They only went to European League and European Conference Cup. And the guy too is looking at his future that I'm not getting younger too. I'm not getting younger. I'm 23. My mates are playing Champions League. Let me go to Champions League. Let me explain Champions League too. He is telling the manager of West Ham, I want to play Champions League. I'm not signing my new contract. That's why they are putting a lot of money on him now. They are putting £100 million. Whosoever is going to buy Declan Rice, the Western captain, is going to pay a lot of. He's going to break the bank to sign him. Declan Rice price tag is now £100 million. I think if Arsenal talk to them, if they bid like £80 million, Western will sell him for them. And I'll be very happy if Arsenal sign Declan Rice. It will be a good pairing for Thomas Partey. And we also have a lot of players that are moving through. We have like Emilio Martinez, the Aston Villa keeper. Don't forget, he's doing a wonderful thing. He's doing a wonderful job in Argentina national team. He's the one that kept them in that World Cup. If not for Emilio Martinez, Argentina could not have bring that World Cup. He's a wonderful keeper. Don't forget, he started with the Arsenal. He's the second choice to Arsenal keeper, then Leno. But because he's warming the bench, he's telling Arsenal manager, I want the number 1 jersey. If you cannot give me the number 1 jersey, if I cannot bench Leno, I'm leaving. And then the Arsenal sell him to Aston Villa. At the end, he's doing wonderful well in Aston Villa. And he performed wonderfully in the World Cup. Now, Tottenham Hotspur and a lot of Premiership team are bidding for him. And I think they will need to break the back to sign that good goalkeeper for us.
Having said all of this, we sincerely thank you for watching, and we need your observation, your comment. Let's have your views on Newsbuster NG Sport Arena. We can't do it alone. You know, it's a joint effort to allow us to have the feedback of communication. So sincerely, I'm also appreciative for coming to the program. Because of our time, my directors almost signaling to me that it was almost used up the time. Yes. To meet next time, I think we will definitely oblige our call when next to call you to appear on this program. Thank you sincerely. I appreciate you for calling. Thank you so much, sir. Yes, it is a sport arena. We've brought to you fingertips as it is happening in the world of football across the Europe, locally and internationally. And we promised you next time, same station, next week, as we'll begin to also unfold all what has transpired in the world of football. Please drop your comments, your observation, and your views. Let's have your views. There's always a feedback in communication. I remain my humble self, Isaac Abayomi, Ajiwe, saying bye till next week.